Welcome to Motor Stories and More, the only place I come for all things motorcycle. Here's the one and only Sleepy.
So right now in Ohio, it's getting to be fall. The leaves are changing, the temperature's getting cooler, the nights are getting longer, days are getting shorter, and it's getting to that time where we transition from a lot of riding to a little bit more shop time. If you're new to the channel, you might not have seen this guy. If you've been around for a while, you know that we built this one day before Mid-Ohio. We took a $400 CT70 clone and slapped a 140cc life and motor in it, and it ended up being one of the funnest little bikes I've ever built. In fact, when I was doing the lap of history, me and this guy on the ground were running and chasing each other, and I was hitting about 70 miles an hour on this thing, and I was having an absolute blast. Was so much fun on the track that it reminded me of why I liked motorcycling. But of course, being the insane nut that I am, I can't leave good enough alone. Because on the track, I did notice the limitations of this bike. The forks were noodly, the rear swing arm was a bit sloppy. There's a lot of improvements that could be done. So I came home and did the monster Googling, stayed up till 3 a.m., made a list that accidentally got bought. I mean, sorry babe. Santa Claus just dropped me off some parts. So, let me introduce you to the new project. It's going to be a multi-part project over the next little while, but Killer CT70. We're going to make this thing the coolest CT70 that I could think of in my head. So let me show you what we got for this thing and how we're going to change this guy up. All right, the first thing we're going to address, because it was probably the worst thing on the bike, are these forks. They were wet spaghetti noodles over 60 miles an hour when you grab the front brake. Granted, I don't think this motorcycle was made to go over 60 miles an hour, so I understand why the forks would be like that. But we don't care anymore because we got these bad boys. They're 41 millimeter upside down, fully adjustable forks that also have a bigger brake caliper holder so that we can run a much larger front brake so that when we can actually stop if we're going over 70 miles an hour. So this is going to be a huge improvement. Those two things alone should change this bike immensely because now I can grab a handful of brake, know that I'm going to get the braking power, and also know that the front forks aren't going to fold in half. And another benefit of these forks, besides taking care of that whole front end situation, is we can run regular risers and regular handlebars. That's going to be huge because the way those bars are now, you're kind of relying on the fact that each one's tight, and no matter how tight you make them, they seem to get loose. So I think this is going to help really stiffen up the front end, give the whole front end a better feel. And with those forks, we're going to have a really good direct connection to the road. All right, and when we originally put the motor in to get it ready for Mid-Ohio, we pretty much hacked together the wire harness just to get the motor to run. So when I bought this little clone, it did come with the title. So I fully intend on plating this bike. I mean, it goes over 70 miles an hour. It's faster than my TNT 135. Why not, right? But I'd have to get all the lights working and stuff, and I do want to do that. So instead of wasting hours of time trying to figure all that out on the wire harness, I just went ahead and bought this brand new wire harness. And what's even better about this wire harness, about it being 100% labeled and everything else, it actually goes with all the components I bought. So it works with this digital dash, this LED headlight, and it's even plug and play with the controls that came with it, which are really nice, high quality. They're very much Honda-like, and the best part is it's plug and play. So I know that once I put this all together, all I have to do is hook up my lights, and I'll have turn signals, I'll have brake lights, and I'll have everything ready to go. Going back to that front brake, that 10-inch front brake is going to need a fat caliper. So we got a new caliper, we got a new master cylinder, and steel braided brake line. So when I pull that brake lever, it's going to come down from 70 plus miles an hour in a very quick fashion, keeping us safe and able to really get into those turns faster than anybody else. All right, so to keep all this power down on the road, we got us some nice fat tires that are more like the original CT70 tires compared to the clone tires that seem to be small. But to make these fit, which will definitely fit on the front forks, we went ahead and got ourselves a billet, wonderfully cool looking swing arm. I mean, it might be more aesthetic than anything, but it does give us the width to run the wider tire, so we had to do it. So overall, we basically have to tear this whole bike down and rebuild it. And I'm gonna bring you guys along. It should be about a 3 or 4 part series. I'm gonna try to get to it when I can over the next few weeks. So make sure you're stopping in, subscribe, tune in, whatever you gotta do. This one's gonna be fun.
Don't be a shit for brains. Subscribe like an adult. This sleepy kid deserves it. He works hard, and it's free, for Pete's sake.
Because the bike as it sits is a blast. I can't wait to see how much fun it's gonna be once we finish everything and put it all together. So, all right, if it works, it ain't dumb. This thing definitely isn't dumb, and I can't wait to see how this thing turns out. Killer CT starts now.